Dun, 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 dun. Kilted
Kilted
balls.
balls.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, harmony.
Man, I love it. Love it. Hey, peeps, welcome back to the Kilted Balls podcast. Got a few different things to talk about today. Some things fun, some things not fun, right? So I don't know about you, Kilted, but for the second time in my business life, I think it's the second time, I
Mhm.
had to file an extension for my taxes. So, as you all can imagine, taxes for us small business owners are intensive.
Mhm.
And in my house, what happens is my wife does all of the personal books, but those are always the last things to get done, right? Because she does books for a living. So ours are
Mhm.
the last. And so we always do an extension and she's always about 10 months behind. So
Mhm.
she finishes the personal books about right now. Um, and so that's when we're able to do our taxes. And I tried to do a whole bunch back in April, but I didn't. And the one thing that I screwed up on is we're going through our taxes and we thought we had them all done because we had to estimate. So
Mhm.
we're just like filling it in. And I realized that it had asked me like 3 or 4 times. I do our own taxes. I use a tax preparation software. And as I'm going through it, it asked me 3 or 4 times, do you buy or sell crypto assets? And every time I'm like, yes, yes, yes. So we're going through the federal check. We're pretty much done. And I'm like, I never entered anything with crypto. And my wife's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, it's asked me 3 times. And every time I said yes, and there was never a follow up question. I'm like, I don't even know where that would be. So I went through the program and looked, and I found where it did crypto assets.
Mhm.
And so I started entering them. And then my wife was pissed because I could have done those back in April
Mhm.
or May or June or July or August or September. But no, I'm sitting here on October 8th going through all my crypto assets
Mhm.
like an idiot. And went through and did them, and I did them the way I thought they should be done and the best way I thought they should be done,
Mhm.
which means there's a lot of things I didn't do. So let me give you an example of things I didn't do, right? So, sorry, IRS people who are listening to this, I apologize for any mistakes I made, but like I'm going through like the big two, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if I'm in a wallet that keeps track of everything, like Coinbase, I just took their tax documents and did everything through it, which they don't
Mhm.
send you one for Coinbase Pro.
No.
So I was trading originally on Coinbase Pro, not KuCoin. So I had
Mhm.
to go through all my transactions there, and I did that, did Coinbase, and then I'm like, you know what? I need to do my MetaMask wallet because
Mhm.
that's a different wallet from my Coinbases. And so I'm doing it, and I realized at one point, basically every time I made an ETH transaction, so every time I sold, every time I bought something using Ethereum,
Mhm.
I had to pay tax on that Ethereum,
Yes.
which is the proper way of doing it. The part that I didn't do, and it's neither here nor there, but like if I wrapped my ETH, that's an ETH transaction, so I put that in,
Okay.
but I never looked at the wrap ETH ever again.
Okay.
So the wrapped ETH never got looked at because it's not in that screen of um, Ethernet IO. You know what I'm talking
Mhm.
about? Etherscan IO. Like
Mhm.
that's not on the screen. So I never looked at those again. When I bought things like Looks tokens,
Mhm.
I didn't look at those again, right? So I did the transaction. Now, for a lot of those things, it didn't matter. Like say Townstar. I bought a whole
Yeah.
bunch of Townstar and I never looked at those again, but I also never got rid of my Townstar.
Yeah.
So it's not like I needed to do that because I haven't done anything with it. But
Mhm.
it was a little weird not having to look at that at all. And then the big one, and you and I've talked about this, um, because we deal in NFTs,
Mhm.
we consider ourselves dealers, just like if you're an art dealer. We don't consider ourselves necessarily collectors, though we do have pieces that we collect.
Yes.
Those aren't an issue because if you're collecting it, you're not selling it. You only pay taxes when you sell stuff. Um, so my NFTs, I didn't really look at because they're inventory. And I need to do that eventually, but so far I haven't. And I
Yeah.
know I've got a bit of profit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me rephrase that. And this is why I think so many people were pissed off. Like I knew why they were pissed off during April. Like there were people on the Uncaged who were like, I hate taxes. Rah. And I was like, yeah, it sucks, but you made money.
Yes.
The problem with NFTs for most of us,
Mm-hmm.
you don't actually make money,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's not like I sold my World of Women, which is I sold that for like a 10x. It's not like I took that money out and put it in my bank account.
Yes. Well, because I asked my accountant about that,
Hmm.
and you didn't. I guess we don't get paid by him either, but I've used him for 20 years. He's awesome. But and to answer your question earlier, I can't remember the last time I didn't have an extension, but
Nice.
but I asked like because I didn't think it was, but I was like, is this like property? Like I sold a VFriend and I bought a bunch of Townstar NFTs.
Right.
And he's like, that's not a thing. So it's not reinvesting where you're not claiming that
Yeah.
amount.
What is that? That's like an actual thing. It's called something. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah. But go ahead, continue. It would just because to hit on that because
No,
you were
you're
talking
exactly
about
right.
it.
Because
Yeah.
that's the problem, right? Like when you're
Mm-hmm.
buying property, you get to continuously reinvest your money and you don't pay taxes on it,
Yes.
right? But in this case, you're reinvesting your money, but you have to pay taxes on it. And so I'm
Yes.
like thinking about all those people who are so mad, and I'm like, why are they so mad? Well, because they may have $100,000, made $100,000,
Mm-hmm.
but they spent $100,000 immediately after buying more of that investment. So they
Yes.
never actually realized that. And then all of a sudden they're getting a tax bill for $25,000. And
Mm-hmm.
they're like, I literally don't have $25,000 because I bought more of the NFTs, which is
Mm-hmm.
exactly what I did, right? Like
Yeah.
my stuff came in and I instantly rebought, or I put it in looks tokens, or I did something.
Yes.
And so I totally understand what they're saying. If you're not pulling money out to pay your taxes, that was rough. And that's what a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them said. Well, I was just an idiot because I didn't pull any out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, were you an idiot? Or it doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the public service announcement. If you, especially large sales, and we've said this, and this goes down to the fact there are a few things on here that we do say, and we know what you should do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I do it or that you do it. So one of the reasons this is coming up today is because I got my tax bill, and it's something I'm going to be paying on for at least until the bull market.
Right, right. Well, and that's something you've had this before because of your small business.
Yes,
Um, but this is the first time we've ever had to pay taxes.
for you.
Yes, for
Okay.
us, it's the first time we've ever had to pay taxes. And if you're sitting there going, what do you mean people pay taxes all the time? No, like our W 2s, they pay taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But our W 2s have always taken enough out that with our businesses, we've never had to pay additional. So maybe that's a better
Yeah.
statement. We've
No, you're
never had
right.
to pay additional taxes than
Mm-hmm.
what our W 2s have. And we've never wanted to get tax refunds. I know
Mm-hmm.
some people like that. We don't like people borrowing our money,
Mm-hmm.
including the government. But we always have, right? We always get huge tax refunds, and it's just as it is. But this year, we didn't. We had to pay money this
Yeah,
year.
you had to write a
Now,
check.
we're going to get a refund, but the reason we're getting a refund is because we wrote a check in April
Mm-hmm.
guessing at what our taxes were.
Oh, I see.
Because this you
Mm-hmm.
have to pay when you file an extension. Well, let me rephrase that. You're supposed to pay
I was
when you
like,
file an extension. And so, we made a
oopsie.
guess and said we
Hmm.
think it's like X amount. And then when we got the bill, it was like, oh, you get a refund because you've already paid.
Hmm.
So that's, kind of a thing. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's an interesting thing with the NFTs.
Hmm.
And it's interesting because you're reinvesting in NFTs, which is exactly what happens with property,
Hmm.
but it's not recognized the same way. And well,
No.
you know what? To be actually totally honest, there is no rules for NFTs.
No.
Everybody right now is guessing at what the rules are. So maybe you're right and you can do that. What is it? A 29 capture or something like that? It's called a name.
Okay.
But maybe you're right.
That'd be
Maybe
sweet.
maybe you can do that. We
Hmm.
don't know
Yeah.
because the IRS hasn't told us. Everybody's just saying, "Well, here's your best bet and this is how I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have to pay penalties later."
Yes.
Right? Which is also kind of crap. Like I think you would be totally fine never paying taxes on your NFTs
Hmm.
until they come out with a ruling.
Yeah.
But most people are adverse to that kind of risk taken on the
Yes.
IRS, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of risk I'm willing to take, but that's not one of them.
Well,
Even though a lot I have is decentralized.
yes. Do you want to know? Here's why I'm laughing right now. And I'm
Hmm.
sorry for people. I should pull this up for you. But I saw this clip, like it was like comic book clip
Hmm.
from Batman back when
Hmm.
we used to watch the cartoon Batman.
Yep.
And it was the Joker saying, "Listen," he was like in a bank vault surrounded by money, and he's like, "Ugh, I got a bill from the IRS, and I've got to pay like 175 million in taxes." And the person's like, "What?" He's like, "Listen, I may be crazy enough to take on Batman, but I ain't crazy enough to take on the IRS."
That's
It
funny.
was like even the Joker won't take on the IRS.
Uh-huh.
So I think your risk is founded. If the Joker sees that as a risk, we can probably see that as a risk.
Yep. I
So
accept that.
yeah, it is. I'm right there with you. Right, like we
Yeah.
don't mess around with our taxes. Like we've had cash businesses forever, and
Hmm.
we're always open and honest about our cash business.
Yep.
We're pretty honest people that way. And same thing with our NFTs. But I am going to do them until I get guidance the way I think is appropriate,
Hmm. Good
whatever
idea.
that means, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't have guidance. You've given me
Hmm.
guidance on Ethereum, and I followed your guidance. You didn't give
Hmm.
me guidance on an NFT.
Yeah.
Everybody's making the best guess scenario.
Yep.
So, speaking of NFTs, in other big
Yeah.
news, I'm so excited. I'm going to throw this on the screen.
I know we needed to have some Jefferson airplane in the background, but I don't think we have that technology.
Do you see that
Oh
beauty?
wait, this is not what I thought that you were gonna do. What is that?
You
Is
have
that a
not been following the Twitter feed.
no, a Boss
So,
Beauties? That is awesome.
Boss Beauties, and I don't know, like I haven't been paying attention, right? Like I've not been on
Mm-mm.
Discord. I've not even been on the 8.1 really.
Yeah,
And but I got like something came across my notifications that was like, hey, the discount for Super Boss Beauties ends at 1 o'clock. And it was Saturday and it was like 12:51.
that's
And I'm like,
awesome.
Super Boss Beauties, what is this? And so I go into their page and I'm kind of grumpy and kind of happy at the same time. But they were like, if you're an owner of a Boss Beauty, you get a gem that will transform your Boss Beauty into a Super Boss Beauty. And you can buy Super Boss Beauties as a discount. So it was kind of like mutant apes, where you could
Yeah.
mutate your ape or you could buy a mutated ape.
Mm-hmm.
And the discounted price was point 0.1,
Okay.
and I had some wrapped ETH and I thought about doing it. By the time I thought about doing it, it was 101 and I couldn't get the discount.
No.
But I claimed my gem and I
Mm-hmm.
minted it, and that is my
She
minted
is
Super Boss Beauty.
awesome.
Yeah, I posted on it, and Boss Beauties has been liking the heck out of my tweet about her. So
That's
I like
super
that. But doesn't
awesome.
she look great?
Yeah, she looks awesome.
Yeah.
That's so funny that this came up first because just today, actually, today, well, and it happens, and I've been known for this. Like, if I hear a podcast where some fun stuff is happening, then I tend to like, oh yeah, this is what I need to, like other things start moving.
Yeah.
But going along with the bottom, hopefully is going to be in soon. We don't know exactly when, but
But we
but
hope
my
soon.
thought is it's going to be soon. And then like end of the year to the new year, I'm going to start using some of my not daily cost average, but just my, the money that I'm putting in here and there. And I'm
Yes.
going to scoop up some of the NFTs that I feel are going to be great long term at the low prices during this bull market.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So, like,
So
what popped into my head is I'd like to pick up some more creatures. Creatures right now are 0.25 creature world.
really,
Yeah, so it's like, okay, that's a great floor. And some other ones. I never got a Boss Beauty. Boss Beauties is one that I think
yes,
that is going to be good long term. And then there's others that I've kind of kept in my mind. Like I'd like to get back into World of Women. I don't know where it's at right now.
right.
And Subducks, that's one that I got in and got out of. I'd like to get back in. And I think that's why it came up because Gary and Matt Kalish
Props
were
and
talking
drops.
about it, props and drops. So on the Rainmakers, the Subduck people and the artist and some other people got together, and there's a oh, what is it? Sly Croc. Sly Croc goes along with your and we've talked about Rainmakers a little bit. It's the NFT fantasy football that the
Yes.
that the DraftKings is doing. So yeah, I scooped one up today. It's an egg right now, and I guess some things can happen with it. If you're a owner, then you can get into special leagues and win special stuff, and
Nice.
then and some of your other guys can do different. They didn't go into great details, but I was like, well, and that one is money, so it was like $112 is what I
Yeah.
spent on it. So,
But
but
you picked one up.
I picked one up,
Nice.
and then also my Rainmakers has been going pretty well because it's yeah, like I've been winning a couple dollars here and there, and the everything I join is free. But this weekend I won $3, but then one of my things was for a pack, and it was for an elite pack, so it goes core, rare, elite, legendary, Rainmaker, and the
Okay.
Rainmakers are all one of ones. So it was to win an elite pack, and going into the game last night, the Kansas City and Raiders game, I had Kelsey. So there was like 20 of us who had Kelsey, and I was already ranked 66th out of like 560 people. So I was still
Yeah.
doing all right. And then Kelsey just went off. So I ended up placing 20th. I get an elite pack. I open it up. It's a legendary player. So it's a 1 of 10. So
Nice.
yeah, I was super excited about that.
That is so awesome.
Yeah. Of course, rather
Man.
than selling it for money, I'm keeping.
Well, that's kind of like that Boss Beauty. So, first off, the Boss Beauty was a gift, right?
hmm
And I'd have to pay the full value of it. But again, my original Boss Beauty is not what I'm meaning to sell. And I
hmm
don't know why I would sell this one.
Yeah.
Especially because what I didn't say is the Boss Beauties are part of a game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I will show you again. You can upgrade them with other gems. So I
Uh-huh.
could have got like 3 or 4 gems and upgraded them. But like if you look at um their details,
Mhm.
like you'll see this on it. So my lady has a 6 of 10 soul, 10 of 10
Mhm.
strength, right? And when they you go into the game, these are the things that count in the game, and you level them up.
Is it
And
a
if you
RPG type game by looking at her outfit?
I don't think it's RPG. I think it's a fighting game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So maybe
I
like
guess that makes sense.
my guess is more like a Street Fighter game.
Oh, because to me, here, go back up real quick. See, oh, okay. I guess that, see, I was taking that as like armor. She's got armor on because
Yeah, I
she's
think if
a
you look
half orc.
at this, kind of makes it look that way, doesn't it? Like the people all standing around.
Yeah, it's a
But if you
group.
look at
They're
like they have like videos and tons of stuff on here,
okay.
and it's just
I'll
like,
have to look at this. Thank you.
yeah, it's kind of a cool thing,
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
super cool.
But yeah, so it'll turn into a game too. But yeah, all these fun things that are happening during the bear market, which makes me feel really good about where things are going in general. Cause I'm like, okay, if they're going these cool spots
Hmm. Well, that's what the
during a
subduct guy
bear,
was talking about. He's like and Gary talks about this all the time. The people who are doing stuff now, like that's crazy. That's even during the tech boom or the Web 2, like after everything dropped, the things that came up with during that time were the huge ones now.
yes, yes, exactly.
So it's super exciting.
And
But oh,
stuff
go
like
ahead.
that makes me super excited, right? Like I
Hmm.
love my Boss Beauties, and now I love that. And again, that's the thing about collecting is even now there's stuff that I look at and I'm like, maybe I should drop a couple hundred on that. And I think that's wrong. Like I wouldn't drop a couple hundred like if I was at a art fair,
Yeah, you run out of spots on your walls.
but I have no problems with like these and going, yeah, I'm gonna get some of this artwork. So it's kind of a
Hmm.
weird dichotomy in our brains, I think.
Yeah,
Not bad, but
yeah.
yeah, that's two of them where I'm like, oh, I could, but you know that, like we've talked about it on here, that Boss Beauty's been 3, 4, 5x, and I'm just like, nope.
Yeah,
And I'm glad I didn't because now I got this other one that is just as cool.
that's super cool.
So actually, my wife was like, "Did you turn me into She-Hulk?" I was like, "Yes, yes, I did. Yes, I did."
Oh yeah, I guess that's the thing. I was
Hmm.
thinking half orc.
Nope, nope, She-Hulk, She-Hulk for sure.
Nice.
So,
So yeah, I see we're running short on time, but
oh yeah, a little
another
bit.
NFT is the white mouse.
White Mouse.
Oh, you just said you've been out of it.
I've been out of it.
Character 4.
Oh, that's right. I missed the town hall and I didn't listen.
Uh-huh,
It,
white mouse.
nice. Did they give you a name or anything?
Um, if they have, I haven't noticed yet. I just saw it was a white mouse, and that's all. And it's been a crazy week since then.
Yeah, it's been
Um,
nuts. It's been nuts.
yeah, I don't think that there's even been any pictures of it. Someone had just said, aviation guy, shout out if you're listening. He's the one who was talking about it being a white mouse
Oh man. Well, I know it was in
after
the
it.
town hall, so
Hmm.
maybe I'll listen to the town hall.
Yeah. So
Oh wait,
that's pretty cool. I'm excited.
I'm looking at the town hall chat to see if it's in there.
Oh, good
Nope,
idea.
it's not. They haven't
Okay.
updated that since April 7th. Gosh darn it.
So I mean,
Oh,
that's super cool.
you know what we haven't updated our listeners in?
Hmm.
Our NFTs. Remember our
Oh yeah.
NFMs. Remember
Hmm.
we were in the middle of that last time and we got off and we were like, "Oh crap, we don't know what's going on."
Hmm.
Um it's my understanding that they are still not back in our OpenSea wallets, right?
They are not as of like 1 p.m. today.
Yeah, so
And
they're not.
someone said yes, update soon at 12 or at 2:34 p.m. So
Yeah.
we're
So
recording at 9.
it's an OpenSea problem. As you probably heard us last time, they are still on LooksRare and they are still on our, like we can see them on the Ethereum chain, which is part of the benefits of
Yeah, the
doing
blockchain,
things on
anyways.
the blockchain, right? Like
Hmm.
I still can see it. Like people are like, it's not an OpenSea. We can still look at what our wallets have.
Hmm.
Like that's the joy of having it on the blockchain. Um, but they still don't. They're still not there,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So, but those NFMs are going strong. That was why we looked because we were so excited
Yeah, we were talking about that. That's going to
about
be
how
so
high.
like all of this stuff. I mean, it's just we've talked about we made the mistake by not selling like we wanted to when it was high, taking
Hmm.
profits, holding the
Yes.
profits till the bottom, and buying back in the bottom and having, however X amount is much.
Right.
So we're working through that. Thankfully, we're both in a position where we can still make some moves,
Hmm.
as things are going down, as things are going up, and our trading system is one of those that's super
For
exciting. But
sure.
it's just, it's a matter of time. And luckily, for me, I'm patient with stuff like that.
No, I agree. And we've got to end our episode. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll give you more updates next week. This is Ballbuster signing off.
Kill the Dragon, Jerry. Love you all.